Hello, it's Thursday. I've now known I'm going to be put on the transplant list for, let's say, about 36 hours. Last night I had a lot of time to myself. I talked to Heather on the phone because Wednesday night is our appointment to do that. And that was nice, and that was really distracting. I mean, not distracting, that's not what the conversations are about. It's about talking to a friend, but it was nice to be social for a little while. I was texting with a friend yesterday, and I would not say that I have dealt with this fully. I would not say that I'm okay with it. I would not say I'm okay at all. In fact, I would pretty much say, sorry, I got a scam likely. That I'm still sort of in a sort of shock, numb stage. Because I think on the outside I seem okay, like I watched 30 Rock last night. I was laughing. And the night before, or the night I found out, which was Tuesday night? Yeah. I wanted to laugh. So I put on this YouTube. If anybody knows who Mistress Isabel Brooks is, that was what I needed to comfort me. When times are bad, there's two things I want. I either want to watch Bob Ross, The Joy of Painting, or something that is undeniably funny that's going to make me laugh. And that's what 30 Rock was about last night. But it only goes so far, of course. I also watched a couple of my favorite SNL sketches, the cowbell one, Tina Fey as Sarah Palin with Amy Poehler, where Amy Poehler tears off the piece of the lectern. I wanted to watch the Will Ferrell Neil Diamond one, but I could spend all night watching SNL sketches. I got a letter. I read the letter yesterday. I sent it to my brother yesterday. And he called me back pretty quickly, and he's like, what is this thing about cancer? The screening for cancer. And I said, well, I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but cirrhosis is the stage before liver cancer. So this is something that is a very real possibility, and something that I'm very glad that we're going to be scanning for every 6 months, because liver cancer is no joke. I hear, in the wind, that it's one of your more painful cancers, like bone cancer. And I'd rather not do that. So, I'm not super worried about getting cancer. I have to look up the rates of hepatic cancer from PBC. I don't think it's super big. I don't think the risk is inflated, and I think my cirrhosis, like I said, the CT said it's mildly nodular hepatic surface. So I'm sure there's fibrosis in there. I'm sure I'm cirrhotic. I'm obviously cirrhotic because of the portal hypertension, but it may not be as bad as it seems. It may be as bad as it seems, but it may not be. There's a lot of inflammation to clear out, a lot of stuff to be just, a lot of built up stuff that needs to be cleared out before we can really take a look at what's going on in there. I don't feel the inflammation today, but I can feel it if I move. like, my liver doesn't feel as stiff right now, and it doesn't feel as big. And I'm not short of breath anymore, so I'm thinking that the swelling in my liver has gone down at least some. Unless my diaphragm hitting it doesn't bother me so much anymore, but, like, that doesn't make any sense. You don't get used to that kind of thing. That's crazy. And things are going well. Sorry for being gross again. Skip 20 seconds, but stool color back to normal. I was just worried this last time because it went on for several days, and I'll have light for like one day, and I'll worry, but the next day it'll be back to normal. And this was like 4 days of light, so I was starting to be like, okay, what's clogged? What's going to happen? When am I going to start seeing the symptoms from this? Am I going to start getting ascites? What is happening? And it's just back to normal now. So not that, like, there's not something to worry about, but at least in this incidence, it wasn't permanent. And I also read that celiac can cause that too, having to do with malabsorption, rushing things through, because if my small intestines are still kind of bald, even after all this time, food's just gonna get rushed through without, really picking up a lot of the bilirubin that gives it its color. Another friend was sending me, was reading about something called cirrhosis regression, that's the word. And of course, I understand that regression, being the antonym of progression, it's not necessarily a negative, but it's usually used as a negative. And I'd never heard of it, but apparently, and this is after just like a couple of papers and like a little summary, I don't know a lot about it, so I have to learn more. But what it looks like is, it was like a crazy woo-woo theory for years and years and years, until like 25 years ago, somebody was able to make somebody reabsorb some of their fibrosis. I guess it was like really early fibrosis, and they were able to get it to happen. Now, I haven't seen a lot about it since 25 years ago, it doesn't seem to have been integrated into modern medicine at this point. That doesn't mean that it's not true. It's just that a lot of things take time, and a lot of a lot of like woo out there theories, so-called. I'm not making a judgment. I'm just trying to express where it is in term. I'm not judging anybody for any of their beliefs. This is the kind of thing that like a scientist or a doctor would say. These theories, if they are proven true, aren't necessarily. If you have to be really early, and if it's really expensive, and it didn't work, it couldn't be reproduced a lot, I don't know. But again, I haven't read a lot about it, so I don't know. I have to do more research. It's just strange that this is a thing that happened, and it's just not a part of medicine. I know they're doing a lot of macrophage stuff. And I was looking, actually, that cirrhosis regression actually made me start thinking of CRISPR. And I started looking into, is there CRISPR editing for cirrhosis? And it turns out there is. And I'm wondering if the regression sort of naturally went into the CRISPR, because CRISPR also, it appears, with the same gene editing tools, can take out the parts of my body that don't like gluten. Now, I don't know how far along this is. I don't know much about CRISPR other than it's like still next gen tech, but I'm gonna have to read a little bit more on that, even though I'm sure I will never have access to this in this lifetime. My time is getting to be up. I will talk to you later. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.